What's going on, everybody? Welcome to On Screen Live for this Monday. Holy crap, December the 4th. Wow, my name is Andrew Jupin, and I'm so glad you're joining us today. Let's see, Matt Harney in the chat. Hello, Harry Baker, Eric Perez, Design Niana. I probably butchered that. Andrew Stockwell, Eddie Failson, Hala Hoochie. Love all the repeat offenders in the chat, man. I have to say, gotta love that. Also gotta love getting to some birthdays today. Of course, the dude himself, Jeff Bridges. Our hero turns 74. One of the baddest motherfuckers around, Tony Todd, turns 69 today. We got, hello, Marissa Tomei. Aunt May herself turns 59. Comedian and musician Fred Armisen, 57 years old. And, of course, hip-hop superstar and all-around billionaire Jay-Z himself turns 54 years old today. Hope you all are having a good Monday. Hope you had a good weekend. Going to bring in some buds here. Hope they had a good weekend, too. First up, we will be playing his hometown in just a few short days in Jersey City, New Jersey. Mr. Steven Sadak.
That's right. I can't wait to see all of you, and I'm going to expect to see all of you there in Jersey City. Quick question: if Tony Todd just turned 69, Andrew, at what age do you think you could physically beat Tony Todd in a fight? Because I know it's not 69. I know today he would still clean me out.
Oh, let's check in with Tony Todd around the Todd Centennial. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that dude, he's gonna be fucking kicking ass and taking names all the way to the grave.
Yeah, if he's got a respirator, I got a chance. I think it's
he would have to be, honestly, for me to beat Tony Todd in a fight, he'd have to be in an iron lung. I'd be like, I've got you now, Tony Todd. Up next, it's Eric Siska.
Hey, December the 4th be with you, everyone.
Yeah, just let's keep making up fake Star Wars holidays. We need more of those.
Hey, sure.
Let's say it's Life Day today.
Sure. Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good one. That's a fucking religion, pal.
Sorry.
Every December 4th, though, is Life Day. I like that. Look, if people can go outside and play like real Quidditch in the park, we can real deal celebrate Life Day.
Yeah, I agree. I think people need to dig into this Life Day thing and make it a whole even more embarrassing thing.
Speaking of someone who gets more embarrassing, and he's a bit of a thing himself, Chris Cabin.
On that table, we had roast beef, scalloped potatoes. Of course, it was at this same dinner that John Frankenheimer took a wine bottle, broke it, and held it to my neck. He said that if you don't give better reactions to seconds, I am going to kick you square in the nuts. You better like it as much as the train, or I will take your head from your body.
I see. Why
talking about Seconds the movie. I thought Seconds the food. There,
no. Of course, the great movie Seconds by John Frankenheimer.
Thank you, Chris. I see why everyone loves the criticism of Andrew Sarah now that I've heard it out loud. Brilliant writer.
Yes. One day I think we're gonna wait and just not interrupt Chris and just see how long that can go, and just like maybe you accidentally like recite the world's greatest novel. You know what I mean? It just sort of happens. You go for a full hour.
Don't test me.
Mm-hmm.
I will obliterate my fucking throat, and yes, you can do that if you need to.
Andrew Sarah,
like
apologies to him.
Sarah.
Can
we get some Sarah Paul?
It'll be like when Andy Kaufman there did a similar thing. What's the thing he does in Man on the Moon? Oh, he reads all of The Great Gatsby like as a bit.
Oh yeah. Of course, me and him of equal genius.
Sure. No,
as
Chris
everyone
Cabin,
knows,
known to fight women.
Oh, every day, every which way, as long as it's in the ring. I'm not playing crazy here. It's got to be sanctioned.
And the weird thing is REM only wrote one song about Chris Cabin and two about Andy Kaufman. So Chris has to just one more to go.
Hey, Star 69 is a great song. I feel very proud. I feel very proud.
Oh, man. You know what? I'm pretty proud of this weekend box office, I have to say. Let's take a look at the weekend numbers in a segment we like to call Highest Gross. I'm excited because Godzilla charted in
There
the
you
top
go.
5, which we'll
Nice.
get to in a sec. Yeah, first up at 5 though, another massive $200 million failure from Disney. Wish coming in at 5 with a paltry $7.5 million, a 62% drop from its opening weekend, closing in on Quantum Mania-esque numbers there.
Even the people who like go to bat for Disney regularly are saying this one sucks.
Yep.
Like are really like this. Do not waste your fucking time. This is terrible. Because I don't know if anybody talked about like what they reveal. There's a big reveal of a universe at the end of this movie.
Yes, we spoke on that
Yeah,
last
yeah.
week. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, and this is now, but it's 2D, right? Is this 2D animation?
It's 3D animation, but
Oh, is it?
But it's not like 3D with glasses.
Looks like a
Okay,
Pixar movie.
The poster didn't look like Pixar-esque, and that's usually what all animated stuff is these days.
Yeah, it's still that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, it's
Well, fuck
like
that.
that. It's the classic Disney like character design template, but it's done with computers.
And they're using magic on people.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That poster with that guy going,
Yeah,
that's exactly.
that didn't sell
Wait,
the
look-
movie, apparently. Look at
Wait,
that.
hang on.
Woo.
Yeah, look at that.
You
Ooh,
would
look at-
think. You would think this looks a lot like the Phantasm poster. You would think something like this,
Uh-huh.
but no.
Oh,
it's
so
not
that
that.
if you're actively looking to keep people away from the fucking theater, remind them of Phantasm. Okay.
I was
It's a
reading.
cult movie. I don't know.
This might be a tipping point because I was reading this morning that
Uh-huh.
Ike Perlmutter's coming in trying to take back Disney.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
He's trying to like succession it, like with
Nice.
he's got some fucking billionaire investor coming in and blah blah blah, and like
Oh,
because Disney shareholders might not be so happy about how everything's been going this year.
Do you see? Do you see what happens when you stop hating mothers?
Exactly.
Do you see what happens?
I mean, that would make Disney infinitely worse because that guy is a
Sure.
piece of shit scumbag.
You know what? Then I'm for it. Let's go, Ike. Let's go back with Ike.
I like Ike.
I do not.
Steve almost fought that guy in an elevator.
I
one
know.
day.
Well, they just- they just-
I was told not to ride the elevator with him. That was,
Oh,
that
that's
was
the
rule
story.
number
That's
one.
right.
Yeah. It was just,
Well, I tell you the same thing with me. Don't you dare get on that elevator with me.
I am imagining Steve as the Captain America with Ike and all of his bodyguards around him saying, like, you don't got enough guys, do you?
exactly. anybody wants to get out can do so now.
Didn't they just like unfroze Bob Iger out of Carbonite, right?
Yes,
So
exactly.
Yeah, man, he's back.
we'll see what happens.
I mean, we'll have to wait and see, dude. Sticking in at number 4, Trolls Band Together.
There you go.
Still singing and dancing all the way to number 4. There's 7.6 million in week 3. Hey, good for those things, man. That's like the limit. That's like, for me, like I will watch animated things, of course, but
Sure.
like when it's shit that I'm like, that's just like music that my ears would not want to hear, and it's like 5 and under kind of movie. Nah.
I mean, these are niece and nephew movies at most. I would say don't even see them under those circumstances.
Chelsea and I
Hey.
almost made the sacrifice at Thanksgiving, but they were tired and it didn't work out. So
Yeah,
Right. This is one of those
Fine with
movies
me.
you bring the little kids to wipe their boogers on everything.
sure. Yeah,
That's what they do.
too.
and then in the
Or like
evening
this.
shows, they put a movie for adults in there, and there's boogers all over the seats.
Yeah. But some adults like that, which is disturbing. But
That's true.
pay extra for the boogers.
yeah. Upcharge me on the booger seats.
just like, oh, still warm.
Oh.
Oh no.
yeah.
No.
They
Oh,
couldn't
yeah.
have gone far.
You
I
know,
saw
you
a
really pay
dude-
for it. With the 4DX experience, you really get the one
Oh, the
gooiness.
4DX.
I saw a dude, no shit. I was getting on the L at 14th Street a couple weeks ago. Or no, this was just last week. There was a dude, I'm like walking towards him. He's coming right at me. He looks at me and the finger is going in the nose. And like he notices that I see him and like the eye contact is made. And he, I think, realized like we're past the point of no return here and just was like, this is what we're doing today.
No.
And this dude looked me dead in the eye as he stuck his finger in his nose
Oh,
in-
God.
in the subway station.
Power move.
What
right
in
there.
stride?
You know what?
Yeah.
Once outside of outside of Grand Central, once there was this big old schlubby guy. Wasn't me. Wasn't a mirror, and he was sneezing so aggressively, like this phlegm.
Mm.
I can't believe what happened. This is 1 in a million. This is the Death Star destruction.
No, don't tell me.
Oh no!
It flew directly into my eye.
What?
And it was like this 60 heavy set guy, looks like garbage, looks diseased, frankly. And I thought my
you're
days
Brendan
would-
Gleeson in 28 Days Later.
I'm like trying to flush my eye out with a bottle of water.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, I would have run right out into traffic, dude.
Yeah.
Let the first bus take me off this earth.
The white blood cells inside that dude's body. Is like, no, that we used to shoot womp rats that wide at home. That Eric's diameter of a pupil, we can hit that.
Yeah.
Oh
it
my
sucked.
god!
You're screaming and pushing your wife away from you. Get away! Get away!
And that's the thing. What can you do? You just were like, oh, what are you gonna
You
do?
can't do anything. You
No,
got to
can't do
just
anything.
keep
Yeah.
moving.
So that guy
Yeah.
just spit on you, or even worse than.
Dude, Eric, though, I thought you were gonna say went in your mouth, man.
Yeah, that's
No,
actually
so-
better. Eyeballs better. At least
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it better?
I
think
mean,
so.
the mouth.
This is all. Listen, this
It
is
might
already
be going down if it goes in the mouth. It
This is-
might be going in for good.
wet and goopy. You know, it's like a little kiss with him
Sure.
versus like just like mucus in my. I don't know.
That's why I wear these guys. Try it, asshole. Go ahead.
That's a good point. I think I'm going to get myself a pair.
Yeah, Steve Sadak, 20/20 vision, by the way, just like
Yeah.
a booger shield on his face
Those-
at all times.
Strictly protective up there. This is why I really do hope people join me. I want to get eye wash stations back and subway stations.
I agree.
It's required, I think.
Yes, and if
Yep.
you want to spit on Steve, by the way, you can
Oh,
do so this
oh,
Thursday, December 7th at White Eagle Hall in Jersey City, New Jersey. We'll be talking about the Santa Claus.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, the stage is pretty elevated, so you try your fucking best. How about
Yeah.
that?
Oh, come on, no.
No,
Yes,
we're not.
but here's
We're not.
what
We're
I-
not inviting that. We're not inviting that.
I will
Boom.
have you removed from the fucking club so fast if anyone tries that. No way.
Wait,
No
Steve,
way.
Steve has to say his keyword before you're allowed to do that to him.
Uh-huh.
It's an
Right.
excitement thing. It's
Yeah.
you know, he has to allow you.
Coming in at number 3, Godzilla Minus One.
Gorgeous poster, by the way. I gotta
Yeah.
say.
Oh, yeah. Let's look at that again. I love this poster. Look at that, man.
Mhm.
Hell yeah. Fancy font on the December 1, by the way, if you look at that real quick. But this was great. This shit never happens. $11 million. Pretty cool.
That's
Yeah.
great.
The monster enthusiasm is alive and well. I'm watching that Monarch show. I might be the only person on the planet to do so.
Mhm.
What is that?
Um,
I'm so
so,
vaguely aware.
I
of
watched
it.
the
Well, here's the
pilot
thing,
so
dude.
far. That's it.
Here's the thing, because it's on Apple. They don't tell people that they make movies and
yeah,
television.
sure.
But it is it's a TV spin-off of that same Adam Wingard universe.
You would-
Split timeline thing with Wyatt and Kurt Russell playing the same character decades
What?
apart.
How am I not aware of this?
I
Right?
know. Because they don't tell people they're making these fucking shows. And like, I gotta say, I watched the first 3 episodes. First 2 a little slow.
Mhm.
That 3rd episode, dude, you get to Kurt Russell. It's got vibes of The Thing going on. Fuck yeah.
But yeah, it's on Apple, so nobody's going to ever watch it.
No,
It's
that's-
go-
that's right.
It's going to be buried. It will be buried for good.
And like a lot of those shows too, it's expensive as fuck, so it looks really good. Like,
great.
yeah.
They just love. Yeah.
What did you say? What were you gonna say?
Oh
dude?
no, I had a joke that I'm not going to tell.
Oh, that's
I like that. Maybe he'll tell it on Thursday night, December 7th at White Eagle Hall in New Jersey. Come on
Well,
out, folks.
I was just saying, if you're gonna like just totally waste money on projects you're not gonna actually advertise, maybe pay
Yeah.
your workers better. Maybe instead of that, just pay your workers better and not just bury
Yeah.
movies and television.
That would be
No,
great.
no.
I'll give some thoughts about Godzilla a little later here, but number 2, holding on here, Hungry Games, songbirds and snakes and whatnot.
Chris, by the end of that film, do you know who is songbird and who is a snake?
Yes, you do.
Really?
100%. Oh, yeah.
oh,
yeah, yeah.
good.
Yeah. Oh, no, yeah. I know a lot of people were asking that question. Yes, you do know both of them.
I now pronounce you snake and you songbird. Rise.
Quite a
While
lot
listening
of,
your ballad.
A lot of snake play in that movie.
At
Is
least
there
they're not,
really?
they're not teasing it. It's like, oh, I saw some guy. He's got a flair for the creative, just like you. It's a snake. It's like, I'll look into it.
How's it going?
I know nobody. I was bored, so I went to see it. And
Hey, you and a lot of other people, dude. We're looking at $244 million globally.
yeah, it's. I kind of like it better than any of the other ones. I'll be honest. Like,
nice.
I think the world is more interesting. Like the rawness of the fact that like what triggered the rebellion that triggered the Hunger Games happened like 10 years ago. Like that at least has some immediacy in the characters where they're just like a little shattered. They're a little like on edge. Everybody's like believably paranoid. Like there's a better atmosphere than there is in any of those.
Now, Chris,
other ones.
can you tell that movie's set in North America at all, or no?
I don't think. No, not really.
It's just like
It's not what the movie's focusing on. Like maybe in the margins, if I had like really paid attention to everything, I would have heard like, oh, Minnesota. But like, it's nothing like that. It's just mostly about the game, the creation of the games, and like the early versions of the games.
okay. Do you also, one follow-up question real quick?
Yes.
Do you see anyone watching the games? Is there any indication of an audience besides a talk show host?
Yes, there is.
Oh, good.
There is.
They heard me. They heard my note.
Yes.
Maybe it's that dude in the bathtub of the Truman Show. Remember that guy? That guy was a lot of fun.
Oh, that guy loved TV.
Or there's the security guards with the Domino's pizza.
Yep. Also, by the way, yes, the chat going nuts for Hunger Game.
Yeah.
Hunger Games is a story from our mailbag that changed the world. I think a little bit. Changed the way I
the world
think
on
about
fire. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Look, because it's
a ballad.
you realize it's another level lower in the depths of human depravity.
Hunger Games, the Ballad of Snaking a Toilet, I think is what that story is.
I think like Hunger Games, like Godzilla, people just were always love a shitting yourself story. It is the American art form is shitting yourself. Stories
It's a tale as old as time.
Shitting yourself. It's so good.
And I will always say, everybody right now is sitting in their fucking ivory towers thinking, I'm not going to shit myself next year. There's a good chance you might. There's a really good chance that somehow there'll be a circumstance in which you, listener, will shit yourself in the next 365 days. And you'll be like, Steve Sadak was right.
I will quote the late, great Leonard Cohen, nobody gets out of here clean.
Everyone should have like one of those things like a number of days since an accident.
Oh, yeah.
In their house.
In their house. Just keep track of how much you don't shit yourself so you feel better for the one time you do.
Sure, you just point to it all the time when somebody like is making fun of you. I haven't shit myself in 13 days.
Yeah.
You could really like sort of commodify that, right? And it's like you could craft a nice sort of chalkboard set kind of signage thing for it, sell that at Christmas. Like, oh, you got this really nice Etsy store, days since I've shit myself board. Oh, look at this.
I mean, eventually you might be able to get those into like Five Below stores and stuff like that. You might really be able to produce those at mass quantities.
And then dominating the box office here at number one, Renaissance, the Beyonce concert film, sold dang near over 1 million tickets, coming in at $21 million.
Wow.
And this is the same like AMC theaters distribution deal that the Taylor Swift movie did. Very interesting to see this stuff happen here. I think, what was the number? 49% of the ticket sales for this movie were premium large format and IMAX screens. Holy shit, that's a lot of large screens taken in the Beyonce concert film here. And it's got like no competition this coming weekend, not a ton going on box office wise. This might just continue to ride the top here.
I wouldn't be surprised.
When was the concert? Was it like? Is it like from years ago?
The record came out last year, so I imagine it was
whatever that was.
Yeah, like the summer.
Okay, I'm just curious.
I'm trying to think, but like, I mean, it's a really good. I haven't seen the movie. Really good record. This
it follows the tour, I think. So I think you're in multiple places. Unlike the Taylor Swift thing was just at the Lo-Fi Center. This is like, it shows you more about like the making of the tour, and it like every what is the descriptions? Everywhere from like Stockholm to Kansas City, like the entirety of the tour in some way or another is featured. So
that was essentially what the last one, the one she did for Netflix, was very similar in that a lot of it is background. That's, I think, the big difference between this one and the Taylor Swift movie, is that there is a lot of focus on like building the sets, doing the routines beforehand.
No. I'd much rather see that. You know what I mean? Not much rather, but like I like when that's spliced in, because if it's just, I mean, a concert movie is a concert movie. You know, that's fun.
Yeah. Well, that's how I sort of distinguish. Like, if you have stuff in that, like that, kind of a more of a music documentary in a way.
Yeah. Well, like Beyonce has a
performance film. It's just like the movie,
the thing. Yeah.
Beyonce hasn't dominated the box office this much since Goldmember.
Nice.
Remember that?
I do indeed.
I do. I remember all
Goldmember.
I do remember
every painful fucking minute of that movie I saw in theaters.
Yeah. Do you remember Dreamgirls, Eric?
No, I don't.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's a really good Eddie Murphy performance.
I actually never saw
really
that
good Beyonce performance in that movie
she's
too.
Also good at it.
Right, you're right. I forgot about Dreamgirls. Totally, I didn't see it. I missed it, but I saw Goldmember.
You did? That's
maybe
important.
more than once.
That's more important, I would say.
Ooh, I'm definitely a one and done with Goldmember. Sorry, Steve.
No, I'm just kind of curious if this, if Beyonce's concert movie and Taylor Swift's concert movie is going to hold a candle to the upcoming concert movie of Iron and Wine opening this week as well. I think. I don't know.
Hey,
maybe
never know.
He might do it.
Is that one called The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes as well?
It might as well be. No, he's playing. It was kind of bummed because we're recording tomorrow, and the week is crazy. But he's actually going to be at the Quad Cinema tomorrow to present it and do some music. And I was like, I would have went to that, but I can't.
Yeah. I don't know, Steve. Stranger things have happened at the box office, my friend. So I guess I'll just have to hold our breath and see if
next week a movie with Mickey Rourke and Liza Minnelli will open. Will it be as successful?
And then just real quick, a nice little art market premiere here. Neon's film Eileen.
Come on,
I want to see this.
Opened up. Yeah. I am interested in this as well. I think it was at Sundance this year. 91K on 6 screens brings you about 55 per screen, or 15K rather per screen average. Not too shabby. A little 6 screen open. It's going to get a little wider this coming weekend as far as screen number. Probably not too large. I'd imagine this is not. They don't have as high a stake in this as they have in something like Anatomy of a Murder at Neon. So like, don't expect this to go super wide. But if it's in your town, check it out in the theater. Support Neon. They're a great company. Or catch it on VOD, which I'm sure is right around the corner.
Yeah,
see how it goes.
But once again, folks, holy smokes, this Thursday, I can't even believe it's happening. We've been talking about this one for a long time.
We've been promoting this for 17 years, and we'd love for you folks to come out.
No, didn't these tickets went on sale in like July or some shit?
They did.
Sounds right. Yeah.
So like we plugged it, and then it like went away for a while, and then we're plugging it again because it's happening in just a few short days, folks. This is Monday. And on Thursday, we're going to be rocking and rolling at White Eagle Hall in Jersey City, New Jersey. Oh, talking about the Santa Claus. Oh, God. It's going to be great.
Timmy Allen.
A fat, jolly good time in Jersey City. It's going to be so much fun.
Indeed.
Cannot wait.
So it's kind of like Monster City around here on Screen Live this morning, I have to say, because we got a new monster movie coming out. There's a monster movie that came out this weekend, but there's another monster movie coming out in the spring. We're going to watch the trailer on a segment we like to call Trailer Segment. Now, we were talking about how Godzilla Minus One had a great poster, and I know this is just a teaser poster, but it's a bad teaser poster. Look at this shit for Godzilla and Kong, the new empire. Just a fun. It's fucking terrible.
It looks like the Marvels or something. With this.
It kind of looks like the Suicide Squad might show up.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
I'd like to see them go up against these big fellas. Huh?
It looks like an announcement poster. Like this exists now. Like what you would do at like a trade show, like when you're just trying to get people to like invest in the fucking thing.
Right, exactly. Like you just signed like the contract for some fundraising like the day before, and they whipped this again. Like I'm telling you right now, I'm sorry, folks. A fucking cloud here is not getting people excited for this monster movie.
I'm also just the fact that it's like the collaboration thing. It's ridiculous. It's like I don't know.
I agree.
Man.
It should be something different. It should be Godzilla X Khan. He just got out of prison.
Oh
he's trying to set his life straight.
Or Godzilla / Khan, and maybe they're fucking, and maybe they're fucking.
Yes.
Oh sure.
We've seen them bash into each other. Let's see them bash into each other.
Here it is. It says the movie is called Godzilla / Kong, and in parentheses it says Mpreg. So there is one of them is getting pregnant, and then I'm buying a ticket. I'm like, well, who's getting who pregnant? You know what I mean? Like who's doing it?
Roderick movie had Mpreg Godzilla.
It absolutely, you're right. It's kind of old hat at this point. You're right.
I mean, that's the thing. You know what? You've been looking for something to bring Brandon Cronenberg up to the big leagues.
Yep.
Here we go. You know, this is something he can deal with his father's legacy of, birthing weird animals.
Oh, yes. Think about that goopy baby that Godzilla and King Kong would produce.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be great.
Chris, as far as your Brandon Cronenberg idea, can we just keep some talented filmmakers in the mid-majors for a long time? I don't need this guy making big-ass fucking monster movies.
It will never happen. After Infinity Pool, people know him, baby.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Oh, you're the guy that made the movie where the guy from True Blood came on a rock.
I mean, hey, if that is what you're known for going forward, Alexander, that's pretty good.
I will say, I think Brandon, get ready for 3 people to clap. I think Brandon Cronenberg would be a very good choice if they ever did the X-Men, the Phalanx Covenant. Now we're talking. That's a lot of like bioengineered shit.
Yellow, black.
Yep.
Yeah. That was pretty cool.
I'd be into it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I'll take
I'm glad you
it.
two are excited. Yeah,
I'm gonna stop this show dead for my own fucking purposes.
So Phalanx, that's a Greek army or something?
Yeah, kind of
like a computer disease, kind of.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Ooh. Maybe, Steve. Stranger things have happened at the box office, Steve. All right, let's get going with this trailer here. The terribly named and shittily teaser postered Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire. Trailer is in the episode description below if you're watching on YouTube, folks. You fellas ready over there?
We are.
All right, we're going to watch this trailer in as soon as my computer stops being stupid. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, wow.
Ominous. Like this.
Ethereal voices, huh?
Are we?
Here we go.
Oh, that's a bay. That's a pyramid.
All right, don't just call out things like your uncle on a road trip.
No, it's a funny
It's
thing
another
to be,
pyramid.
but to Chris's point, it's funny to be like the human race or whatever, and it's like, remember, it's been around a while. Here's some pyramids.
Heard about it. Wait, is that a Transformer?
Dude, I thought it was a Transformer when I watched this. It's just King Kong.
Now Napoleon is shooting a cannon at him.
Does he have like one of those wrist support gloves? What is that?
I don't know.
I think he's got carpal tunnel from too much swinging on vines and shit.
And on the computer too much.
Even on Fortnite, my friend. I am curious. Is this new empire going to be a frozen empire by any chance?
I don't think so.
You know what? One frozen empire a year is enough for the movies.
And you know what? I don't need spaceships in these movies.
Oh, babies.
Yeah, that's like tech that they introduced, I think, in the last movie, Eric.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's some other ape.
I think it's the son of Kong, dude, the little guy there.
I like how Dan Stevens is like, I'm really hot. Can I be in big movies or what? What's going on?
Yeah, dude. I'm glad that he's in this, man. That guy's getting a raw deal with his career.
I know.
The Wild, just as much CGI in that.
Oh man.
What is going on?
I
folks?
don't know. Is Asgard involved? What the fuck is this?
I am lost.
All the drugs. All the drugs.
I stopped paying attention to this trailer for 3 seconds, and now the Mayans are involved.
I don't know if they're Mayans. I think it's like ancient civilization stuff.
I don't know. Oh wow, Pink Godzilla. That's pretty cool.
Godzilla
look,
coming out
that's a
against
Godzilla.
breast cancer in this movie. I like that.
Yes. Godzilla only in November, by the way.
Yeah, no, exactly. He's changing the color of his cleats.
Oh, who's this dude? This bald Kong. I like this guy.
We're gonna have some serious monster carnage in this movie,
Wow,
man.
Godzilla's butt was charging up. Oh wait, it was his mouth.
Oh yeah, look at that. Yes,
So fucking stupid.
it's gonna be so stupid, Chris, and I'm gonna love every fucking
And
second.
I
of it.
like that last one, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Yes. It is. That last one is firmly in the category of movies that I really enjoyed that I can't tell you a fucking second about. I couldn't tell you
Right.
anything that happened in that movie, but I did enjoy it.
Was that
I
Diddy
believe-
Kong there?
Possibly.
Yeah,
They-
little son of Kong.
Yeah, he's gonna get a cap at the end of it. The stinger is him getting that little hat, and then Donkey and him going on adventures.
It's King Kong like putting his hands on his steering wheel, like learning how to drive a fucking car.
He gets
Diddy
he
Kong
gets the
race.
red tie, puts it on.
All of a sudden,
Oh,
I
yes.
mean, you know that's happening eventually. Now that we got the Mario Brothers and everybody's trying to make the Zelda movie, the fucking, you're gonna have Donkey. You're gonna get like a trailer where like it's gonna be a build up, and then you're gonna see one of those bees come up on the screen. Really, the little guy going
Oh,
like
yes.
this, up and down, and that's gonna be the
And
teaser.
It'll the
This Christmas.
Honestly, they will do so they will do amazing things if they can keep that soundtrack. The soundtracks for those games are fucking great.
Yeah, the music on those games are perfect.
Yeah, just bring that back.
Absolutely.
Don't even bother fucking getting somebody else to score it. Just do that.
Yeah, Eric, to your question, I think a lot of that stuff in that last movie, or Steve, you were talking about it too, not remembering it. We're doing like Hollow Earth shit and like tunnels and all that conspiracy theory stuff. So whatever. I don't know. Maybe that's just for me.
I like the Hollow Earth. I like the Hollow Earth. I think we should do the flat Earth now. Like Godzilla gets up and it just flattens the Earth, and then there's ice guards. At
Yeah,
each
they're like,
end.
Godzilla is standing on the edge of the earth. He's tipping the whole earth over. We got to get him in the middle.
Right, yeah. All the people on that continent go flying into space.
We need you to be the core of the Earth, Kong. We need you to do it for us. I mean, that I thought that was the best sequence in that last movie was him in the Hollow Earth when it was just like, what I come here to see is just monsters battling each other.
Yeah,
and like,
exactly.
and unlike Godzilla Minus One, which we were going to talk about in a minute, like the human stuff's really interesting in Godzilla Minus One.
Sure.
Usually it is not. And that was my major issue with that last one is I just found all the human stuff completely useless. And then this
what are you
looks like
talking about?
maybe-
Shin Godzilla?
No. In the prequel to Godzilla, X
The
Kong.
Hollow Earth one.
The Hollow Earth one.
Oh.
Godzilla versus Kong. Like I found all the human stuff in that movie was just completely fucking thrown in the trash, including isn't Brian Tyree Henry? Isn't he?
He's a podcaster.
He's a podcaster. Yeah,
that's the one thing I remember.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, now it appears as if he's like fully entrenched in the world of monster exploration. I don't know.
Podcasting no more. No, not so much.
He's probably got like a syndicated fucking.
They
YouTube
should
thing
hire
or something.
us as podcast consultants. You guys never do it right in the movies. You don't know what you're doing.
That's probably. I mean, actually, absolutely do that. Give us money. But Monarch. I mean, if Monarch definitely needs an official podcast. So like, why wouldn't you ask him to do it?
Well, it'd be great if in the trailer, like, oh my god, I just shit my me undies. You just look like
Yeah.
I'm gonna need a rest on my helix.
But yes, speaking of Chris Cabin, Godzilla Minus One came out just this Friday here, and I gotta tell you, one thing that's pretty cool, seeing the Toho International logo on the big screen. That was fucking sweet, and I was like the only loser in the theater that was like, "Yeah."
Mm-hmm.
What was it? I mean, was it a crowded theater or what are we talking?
It was. I have to say, so I went. It was like a 4:00 show on the Upper West Side on a Saturday, and it was pretty full.
Yeah,
it was pretty full. You know, not like ass to ankles or anything, but more than I anticipated to be at the theater, and it was also in like a bigger theater that I anticipated it to be in. So all around, that was a pleasant surprise.
Same for me. And at the same time, I saw it Saturday evening as well, and it was a pretty good crowd. Like, I mean, it wasn't fully sold out or anything like that, but there were at least half of each aisle was taken up.
Yeah. So like, I really think the human stuff in the movie is great. It's like, it strikes that really nice balance of like human drama and monster carnage, which I think, like, to Chris, what you were pointing out, these like Warner Brothers legendary movies, they're in it more for the monster carnage, and the people are second. It's just different kinds of Godzilla movie making, you know? And so like, this is way more entrenched in like a story and like reacting to Japanese history and, you know, certain events and stuff like that. So it's like real traditional Godzilla in that sense, but all the human characters are really good, and the story, you're like actually invested in it. And like, if there wasn't a giant fucking radioactive lizard running around, it's just really nice, like, human drama.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was really a solid version of this. I've been breaking these down into musical genres. The 98 one is clearly nu metal Godzilla.
Sure.
Yep.
And 2014 is stoner metal Godzilla, of course.
Sure.
This is emo Godzilla.
Okay.
It's very, very anchored in like high emotional state. Like, there are more than 4 like emotional breakdowns in the movie. Like, by men, that has nothing to do really with Godzilla at all.
What does Godzilla break down? I haven't seen it yet. I want to see it.
I don't want to.
It sounds really cool. Does he cry?
I don't want to ruin it for you. There is a mega tear that causes a nuclear explosion, but no, I'm kidding.
It would be kind of great if he's just like smashing buildings and he just kind of leans on one, like, what the fuck am I doing? What am I? What is this? You know, like, you're just gonna feel like shit tomorrow, Godzilla. You know,
you're 50
just
years
see him,
old,
like,
motherfucker. Come on.
He's cranking a dial on his stereo, and you just like, oh, what's that? It's an acoustic guitar. Dashboard Confessional just starts playing. You gotta figure your shit out, Godzilla.
Oh yeah, Godzilla wept because there were no more kingdoms to conquer.
Well, because the premise is this is basically Japan right after Hiroshima, right? Or is it not?
It's like the ass end of World War II, like the final days of World War II, and it's about a kamikaze pilot, kind of like doesn't want to do the deed that he's assigned to do.
Sure.
So he fakes that his plane has a mechanical problem and lands like on a repair island, basically.
Oh, cool.
And Godzilla appears, and this dude, in an act of cowardice, like, he freezes up and he doesn't use his like plane machine gun to shoot at this thing, and all the dudes on the island get wiped out except for him and another guy. So it's this whole story of this dude coming home, and everybody's like, how are you alive? Weren't you a kamikaze pilot? Oh, and like they all just like think he's a total fucking coward and hate his guts and everything. Meanwhile, it's all like he's living in like a completely destroyed Tokyo. And
that's pretty cool.
So it's this dude like trying to rebuild his life and like redeem himself. He takes in a woman with a young child, like gives them a home, and they sort of like, years go by and they kind of form a found family, which is kind of interesting.
And then they're all, them and Godzilla are stuck at a prep school over the holidays. Is that how that
that's
works?
right. Yep, that's exactly. And they go to a nice Christmas Eve party.
It's crazy how Oppenheimer also was birthed Godzilla.
Absolutely.
Godzilla, that's another detention.
God damn it, Godzilla, that's another detention.
You went into the Hollow Earth?
We're gonna talk about that movie in a second, but just real quick, like, it's fucking great. If you like Godzilla, you absolutely have to check it out. The computer effects are really good. All the destruction stuff, really cool. Not to spoil anything, but Chris, when the fucking like wind tunnel thing happens to that one character, my jaw was open in the theater for like a full minute.
There's good destruction stuff. They think about it. There's actually some clever ideas thrown in it. It's just not the normal, blow it up, crush it, and like there are those things, but they do other stuff, which is nice. And like I said, this is one of those few ones where they actually make like the human stuff worth it, and it's not just like process like the 2014 one. I think does a lot by just like, we're just trying to figure these things out. So a lot of the talk of that, this is actually a story that goes along with it. I thought that was pretty clever.
So Chris, I'm curious to see if the cleverness continued and John Woo's new one, Silent Night, which I believe you're the only one to see. So take us through that, Big Daddy.
I am a simp for Mr. Wu. I should not after seeing Wind Talkers, I should not be doing this anymore. But I still do. You know what? It's really well directed, but it's like Michael Winner Death Wish 3 or 4 level racist.
Really?
Yeah, like really wild shit. Like I was pretty.
Are we against like what the Latin Americans again?
Yeah,
it's always
and like an active gang war going on through most of the movie.
I wonder if it's more racist than the Jennifer Garner movie from a couple of years ago.
That's Peppermint.
Yes.
I almost said Butter. I think that was another movie she was in.
You're right. No, you're right.
Yeah.
I can't wait for Olive Oil.
Only the Garner head saw that one.
Yeah.
But like literally, if Peppermint was really well directed, is essentially what this is. I do like. I mean, like the thing is the conceit's really good. It allows Wu likes a lot of big sweeping camera movements, and he gets to do a lot of it, and it's like really cool to watch until you are like, oh, so he's just slaughtering. Okay, oh boy, okay, and like if you can get over that stuff, then you're probably going to enjoy it more than I did. It was much easier in the beginning. As things get bloodier and more intense, I was a little bit less comfortable.
But was the violence good? John Woo's known for
violence is very good. The fights are great. The gunplay is really good.
Any doves?
I didn't see any.
That's a goddamn shame, dude. 2 turtle doves. It's in the fucking Christmas song.
Right there.
Yeah, it is right there.
I will say I went to the bathroom for 1 minute. So
it could have been a dove.
It could have been. It could have happened then.
Could have been that dove minute.
But I don't remember it. But it like I said, it's a John Woo movie, so the action is really fucking good. Like, and the emotions are done. Like the emotional stuff is done at a very high pitch. To kind of like match the energy of the action. So, and I buy all that. It's just, it's so like the premise is so fucking bad.
Yeah. So quick question, because
Yeah.
I don't believe this to be a spoiler at all. So obviously Kinnaman's not talking because that's the conceit of the movie. Are people talking around him?
They do. I think so.
Are we breaking our fucking back not to have people talk like that stupid alien movie?
Sometimes they absolutely are, but it seems like that is kind of obvious from the beginning. Like that's a conceit he's like buying into. It's not something like you do. Like if you want to enjoy it, you kind of have to buy into like they text in one scene.
Okay.
There's a written letter in one scene. I think the villains talk, I think, but like Kid Cudi I don't think says anything. Joel Kinnaman doesn't say anything. I don't think Catalina Marino says anything.
Yeah, I think that's a stupid device.
I mean, it works for me because I know John Woo likes to go big and like you kind of just
try stuff. Yeah,
he's a big corny dude. You gotta kind of buy that with him. Like Face Off is corny as shit. Like, but I love that movie because it's also action heaven.
It's also got some real cracking dialogue throughout it.
Well, yes.
So, I don't know. I mean, it's a rental for me because oddly, I'm looking around the city all this past weekend. The showtimes for this movie were terrible.
Well, nobody cared.
I mean, it was barely playing any place. I think, what did I say, Eric? I was looking at the numbers. It debuted at 9.
Oh, yes.
This weekend.
Did not do it.
That's a bad.
What I did not mention, though, speaking of bad showings during highest gross, and I feel I'm obligated to point this out, the Marvels already out of the entire top 10.
Yeah.
It's officially the biggest MCU box office failure.
Just
there you go. Yeah. So
please.
So what? So Chris, what soft recommend? You're saying?
Yeah, it's a very soft recommend. It depends hugely on how, like, if politics really do like state the course of your like movie going experience. You're probably not going to like this. It's pretty bad. But if you're in for like good action, whatever it is, you can deal with it. It's like, it's not the guys do kill his kid, so there is that. But it's totally on that. It's if you can get over it, great. If not, I would stay away.
Do you think Earth 2 Joel Kinnaman's a huge movie star, or maybe it's Earth 3, or do we have to go all the way to like Earth 10 to get there?
One of those Earths, he said no to that RoboCop, and it was for the better.
Yeah. He got something else from that. I don't know what it would have been. He probably got into Marvel if he doesn't take that.
Yeah,
RoboCop.
that's a good question. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess he was teasing a return to the DC stuff with what was his guy?
Rick Flag from Suicide Squad. Yeah.
I thought he was fine in the gun version. I thought that was he did well with that. But I mean, I don't have anything. I like him for the most part.
I did too. No, I do. I liked him in The Killing. It's just flop after flop for that guy.
It's been pretty bad with that stuff.
Yeah, it's just too bad. All right, Eric Siska, something that tiny little theatrical footprint, but it is out on VOD and digital and Blu-ray tomorrow. A Disturbance in the Force. How the Star Wars Holiday Special happened. This is a new doc that's out that you saw.
Yes, new doc coming out. They sent me a screener because they know, it's funny because I think Andrew, you and I were talking about it a bit, that it after a while, this is the type of documentary which eventually does feel like a DVD extra, where you have talking heads, and it does get a little saggy and boring, but the start, I think the first 40 minutes of this movie, this doc, is really good because it really contextualizes what was going on with television at the time, goes through the variety shows of the era, how they were, for some reason they thought that people would forget Star Wars, even though it broke all those records, and people were people kept going back and back to the theater, but they were convinced that if they didn't slaughter us on television with Star Wars content, that people would forget about Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back would be a flop. So it sort of kicks off this race to get this holiday special made for 1978. And basically, on an instinctual level, maybe making sound decisions like, this is a variety TV special, let's get people who made those to make it. And you kind of just see the deterioration of the product from initially potentially good and interesting ideas, good loosely, that George had about Life Day and the Wookiees. That was him. But then it just deteriorates into what we see as the Star Wars holiday special.
Which, I mean, it is deterioration. That is the word for it. Watching it, I was deteriorating. I think we all are. Yes. I mean, is there anything? Do they at any point focus on the creation of VR porn in that movie?
They do not.
They do not.
Think, no.
Okay,
they do. I think they do mention about. They do mention it, but they don't go into insane detail. Actually, you might be right. I think they maybe do mention that.
Diane Carroll's as the first virtual reality porn star.
They have to talk about that.
They did.
Maybe not contextualizing it in that.
I'm starting to. The problem is, folks at home, we did a new episode on the Star Wars Holiday Special, and I'm kind of conflicted.
Right.
I'm like, we talked about VR porn the whole time, so I was like, did they? Yes, they did. They did. It was mentioned.
See, that's the thing. Yeah. So it starts off as an actual documentary, and then kind of, because that's the problem I think with a lot of these sorts of documentaries, they devolve into filling the space of, hey, remember the '80s kind of a thing, and then we're getting
totally, yep.
And it just sort of like that. I've turned so many off because sometimes it's like a really interesting concept. I think I turned off the Miss Cleo doc, if anyone remembers that from last year.
Oh, I watched it in its entirety.
Because I was like, oh, cool, Miss Cleo. I would love to know more about this thing. And this was a really interesting moment in the 90s. And then it starts with remember the 90s? I'm like, I'm fucking out of here. Get out of here.
It didn't get much better than that, Steve.
Is that what this is, Eric? Or is it
no,
more...
it doesn't really devolve into that necessarily. It's just sort of like the production ins and outs that after a while, you're like, unless you're really interested in the, secondary producers at Lucasfilms and what they were going through. Ooh. So it's sort of just it's might be
too thorough.
That actually, yes, it might actually be too thorough to be fully entertaining, but I still gave it 3 stars. I think it's worth seeing if you're very interested in the Star Wars Holiday Special, because they do talk about every little thing. Our good friend, friend of the show, Gilbert Gottfried's in it briefly.
Oh wow!
Oh, that's cool.
And it's nice to see him pop up in something. I see a comment in the chat. Ben here was asking if Bruce Valanche was one of the talking heads. Yes, he's all over it. So because he was one of the writers. So check it out.
That's really cool.
You go. All right, and just for clarification, I don't know. Someone asked, Andrew hated No One Will Save You. I didn't hate it. find my letterbox about it. I say Caitlin Deaver's really good in it. The effects are really good. I just think that device is fucking stupid. But
Andrew,
I
why
did
do you
not
hate
that movie.
movies? Why do you hate them
Yeah.
all the time? Why?
No, I know.
Answer
I
me.
know. I know. I know. I know. Anyway, let's keep on chugging along here. One of the best of the year, IMO.
Yeah.
The new Alexander Payne film that's been out for a bit, but we finally all fucking saw it. The
Oh, yeah.
Holdovers.
It's great.
Me as recently as literally this morning, I rented it and watched it. He's back. He's back making a movie that I really liked because I truly did not care for that downsizing.
Or did he do it? No, that's Cameron. I always got him and Cameron Crowe mixed up. Sometimes he did. Cameron Crowe did Aloha.
Yes,
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Did Payne have something between this and
I don't think so.
downsizing?
They've been talking about
No.
doing that election sequel
Yes.
forever. and
Yeah.
I don't know if that will ever happen, but you know,
Yeah.
I love the Holdovers. And speaking of back, more importantly, I mean, Alexander Payne, great. Paul fucking Giamatti, man. And I mean, I think that like
dude.
you could look at this room, you could look at these four quadrants and understand that in 2004 and 2005, when like American Splendor and Sideways came out, all four of us were very invested in Paul Giamatti.
Yeah.
And
He
like
lit the world on fire, dude.
he did. It was like this like interesting, like kind of like sad dude that like just like had this presence that I could relate to, and then like
Yeah.
he just got lost to television and
John
Verizon.
Adams was good though. I will say.
Yes, that's true. John Adams is excellent. Verizon commercials and all
Billions.
this shit. Billions just ate him
Right
up,
on.
and it's a. But now he's back, and I think that this is like a trilogy of the like what I've been waiting for years, since like American Splendor or whatever, or Sideways, like another
Yeah.
one of those, and it's another one of those. It's great.
it's an ideal old Giamatti performance, like literally
Mhm.
what you were looking for. And I mean, you talk about like Sideways and American Splendor. Yeah, I think that's really when he was setting the world on fire, really. But like, I have been stowing away my fucking like my weekly pay from doing chores, and was putting it on him in Private Parts. I was like,
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
this is the guy.
Yeah.
You're
This
right.
guy right fucking here. And
That
Yeah.
a great point. Thank you for mentioning Private Parts, because when I think of that movie, I don't think of Howard Stern. I think of
No.
that pig vomit.
I think of
Totally,
them going at each other is some of the best parts of that.
WNBC.
Yes, that is amazing.
WNBC.
I mean, what I like about this, it's him, like it feels like an older movie, and I think
Yep.
it's him like dealing with becoming older. He did, I think, downsizing, for whatever people think of it, it's his most ambitious idea. It's like
Sure.
his biggest idea, and it's like his
His biggest idea.
I mean,
in,
yeah.
in a movie where people get tiny.
Yes, but like, it also feels like this is him like stepping back and being like, oh well, like go back to like where you started with being in love with Hal Ashby, and like
Yeah.
this
Right.
feels very much like a Hal Ashby movie.
Down to like the just the way it looks, like
Yeah.
you know, it's sort of like the House of the Devil, where it's like this could
Yes.
have existed
Yes.
back then.
Yes.
Well,
Oh,
you
I
got
mean,
the-
they're leaning into that really hard.
Yeah.
I mean,
And honestly,
the opening is the old Universal logo, a fake Focus
This
Features
made
logo.
me nostalgic for a time I wasn't alive.
Yeah.
But honestly, this made me nostalgic for, again, the mid-aughts. Like, these movies were out there a lot in the mid-aughts, and I just
Yep.
feel like I haven't seen something that's just like thinky and talky and, you know, really feelingsy, like feelings on the sleeve kind of a movie. But again, it's well made, and I think all three leads are great. Obviously,
Mhm.
Giamatti's fantastic. The kid is really, really good, and so is Divine Joy Randolph. I guess my one. If I have a beef, I think that she needs one more beat in that movie, and I don't know
I
where.
does.
I agree.
She just needs like I think like because she goes like at a certain point she goes to her sister's house, and the movie leaves her there, and I'm like, but what's going on? Like, you know what I mean? Like if it's
That's-
a true like triangle of a movie, I need to just like one more scene of her doing something there.
That's where it kind of slips, because the missed opportunity there's a shot of like they revisit once, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, what is she up to? And it's her and her sister like sitting on a bed talking, and the
Yes.
husband like goes to like interrupt them and is like, oh no, they're having sisterly time.
Yeah.
And walks away. It's like this great shot, but like first of all, you don't hear what they're saying,
Yes.
which is a failure. There's just music. It's like montage music over it. And then it fades out, and like just give that scene.
Yes,
I want to see what that scene is, because on the other end of it, she has like repaired certain family things and is like in a kind of better place. And I want to see that conversation that got her there.
Yes, I think that would be great. And I think that would be a much better, because they also start teasing, but I think it's done very warmly. The little flirtation she has with the janitor. I think that's all done. But I'm glad that there's focused more on the family stuff rather than a romance with them, because I think that's more true to what the movie is talking about.
I
missed that scene too, Andrew.
She's I don't think I'd ever, I mean, she sort of does like some drama chops in Dolomite Is My Name. But like she's fucking hysterical on Only Murders in the Building. So to see her just come out swinging in this fucking pitch perfect dramatic and comedic performance, bravo, Divine. Like you slayed this movie. I was stunned the kid doesn't suck. I have to say.
Yes, totally agree. He's good.
Because you kind of have to have your guard up for like a disgusting shitboy situation. And this guy, Dominic Sessa, was it an introducing Dominic Sessa?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's got
my God, he was born in 2002. I'll be dead now.
He's got the thickest Jersey accent anyone's ever had, and I fucking love it.
Yep.
Yeah, just all these big, what are the bigs are doing? It's like, oh yeah, kid, you're not even trying to hide it.
I mean, also there is a filthy shit boy, and that is Kuntz. Kuntz is clearly the filthy shit boy.
Sure. Yeah.
I could have used things of other beats that I could have used. I mean, I love the way the movie unfolds, and like there's a lot of holdovers at one point, and then it's obviously just down to the kid. I could have used one or two more beats of Mormon Kid. That kid was making me laugh. Oh, I loved him.
Dude, it's kind of supposed to be like sad in its own way, but Mormon Kid throwing the other glove into the river.
That was a great moment.
The Korean Kids one scene with Tully is really, really like a lot of emotions in that scene.
I gotta say, Chris, like I experienced like some emotion going on with this movie. I did not anticipate that to happen. This movie got to me a couple times.
It's a really effective movie. It's really like. It's beautiful. It's beautifully shot too, by the way. Really great looking.
It's, I think, Payne's warmest movie. Like he usually is a little bit more prickly than this. Like and like Giamatti is the prickly like presence, and you could still feel like Payne in his character, I think. But the world, he's not as like acerbic about the world in his view of it. Like Giamatti gives that, but like the actual view of Payne isn't like that. Whereas I think that was true of almost anything. Downsizing, I think, is a little warm too at the end, but like before then, it was just like a total like the world shit, like Nebraska. You're like, oh my God, like
that's bleak. That's a bleak one.
It's so great to have a movie like this, and I'm so bummed. Well, it's weird, right? Like on the one hand, I'm bummed. Like fuck, I waited until December 4th to see this movie that in New York has been out since late October, but like. I'm sorry, this is a Christmas motion picture. This whole, like, you did a platform release of this movie in fucking late October. What is the matter with you? Like, there's doggone Christmas music in this movie. Crying out loud.
It's such a Christmas, but that's what I love about it too. Is it's a sad Christmas movie. You know what I mean? It's a Christmas that you in your 40s could be like, yep, I get it. You know what I mean? Like, sort of like, and I like that about that, which is sort of like, I mean, again, like. Christmas is so dominated by this Hallmark horse shit. You know what I mean? I think that it's nice to see some like, Christmas with some teeth on it, and not Krampus by that.
Well, thank God for that. I love all the music in it, but you're right. You could just like take it all out and just put the Vince Guaraldi, Charlie Brown Christmas thing over this. It would fit the mood. The mood's correct.
Yeah. Oh, you'd still feel like buying rope at the hardware store all the same, Chris. Don't even worry about it. Great segue, Steve, because something I want to wrap up on, because I gotta warn people for the holidays this season. There's so many. Steve just mentioned all the Hallmark movies and the Lifetime Christmas and everything like that. You are better off with those movies, folks, than some of the stuff that I gotta warn you against on Netflix. You got this Best Christmas Ever. Now this is Jason Biggs. Now look, so you got Brandy, okay, the beautiful Brandy, Heather Graham here. Speaking of Austin Powers, some dude Matt Cedeno, and then Jason Biggs. This is a movie about Graham and Big's kid intentionally puts in Brandy's address from a Christmas letter they got because she's like Heather Graham's like super rich, successful friend. And this kid, like, the Christmas letter's like, stop by Christmas anytime you want. Our family would love to have yours. This kid like takes them up on that. So they like douche chill don't know they're pulling up to Brandy's house for Thanksgiving or for Christmas. And they just, it's like old friends who haven't seen each other in years, massive douche chill situation. And they spend like 5 days with these people. It's so uncomfortable. Holy fuck.
Why?
It's really brutal. It's something about like they're supposed to be going to her sister's new house. So Heather Graham doesn't recognize the address either way, I guess.
Okay.
By the way, Heather Graham and Brandy are both scientists.
Okay.
And Brandy invents a solar-powered hot air balloon.
Oh, good. That's good. I'm
Sounds
glad.
like to watch this movie, I need a powered gun to put to my head.
Smart bunnies have smart bunnies.
Yeah. Oh, also, third act, secret dead kid revealed.
Nice.
So
of course.
stay away from that movie. That is indeed, you guessed it, directed by Mary Lambert of Pet Sematary fame.
Wowzer.
Oh, yep.
What?
And then the other one, really quickly here, Christmas movie in fucking some scenes only, Family Switch.
Oh, that's what I tried. You said you were watching this last night, and then I
Yeah.
typed in Sun Swap, and I watched like 2 hours of that instead.
Right. You're like,
Yeah.
where the hell's Jennifer Garner?
I know. It was good. I actually liked it a lot.
Yeah, there's a white Christmas in that one at least, Steve.
Yeah.
Dude, this movie is a straight up, by the way, directed by Mick G in his continued
Of
relationship with Netflix.
Sure.
This movie is Ed Helms and Jennifer Garner play two like We Love Christmas parents, and they're two like teenage kids they kind of are bad parents to and kind of ignore and whatever. So wouldn't you know it, it's a body swap situation, but it is so clearly like someone wrote a script for a body swap movie, and then someone was like, you know, if you put Christmas in that, I'll green light it.
Yeah.
Christmas is such a fucking afterthought that like whenever they mention it in the movie, you're like, oh yeah, this is a Christmas movie.
Mhm.
Fake as fuck. Like,
Holy shit!
It's
The director, did you
terrible.
mention that? I just wasn't
Yeah,
paying attention.
Mick G,
Yes,
yeah.
he did. Yeah. Mick G.
Holy
yeah,
fuck!
Mick G. Yep, Mick G.
Fuck him.
It's really brutal. Ed Helms, another dude I have no ill will toward, but like that dude just is not in movies I care for.
Yep, I steer clear if he's around. I'm sorry, I liked him and stuff, but it's just like at
Yes.
this point, it's like, you know what, dude, fool me 12 times.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
They have some joke where it's like they mention like big 17 again, and you guessed it, 13 going on 30, all in this like round table of jokes about those kinds of movies.
Oh,
and I'm
great.
like, oh man, did everybody get it? Oh, it's really brutal stuff. You've got like brother and sister kissing jokes.
Yeah.
Rita
Right.
Moreno playing what was at one point just like kind of a like Eastern European psychic character, but then because of this script overhaul is now like a Christmas angel of some kind, maybe.
Hey.
You know, it'd be cool if in one of these body swap movies, because it's always like, oh, we need to get the idol by 12 o'clock or it's never
Yeah.
going to turn back.
Sure.
And like, there's just another guy in the movie like, oh yeah, I used to be my sister. I did get the idol at the right time. Yeah, I don't know. It's been 40 years. His body's okay, I guess. Being a man for 40 years, what are you gonna do?
I would fucking love that, dude.
Yeah.
Like the movie takes place after the body swap failure.
Yes, exactly.
Hell
I just
yeah.
gotta live with it.
Like a body
Uh,
swap Jumanji. Yeah, I like that.
Dude, and final thing about this movie to make you stay clear of it, or actually maybe, I don't know, this might get some people to turn it on. Because it has to be like a 1-for-1, the family's like all together. So it's like Ed Helms switches with the son,
Mhm.
Jennifer Garner switches with the daughter, but then they have a third kid who's a baby. Like there's two teenage children and then like clearly an accident third kid.
Sure.
Sure.
You guys strap in.
Dog.
The baby switches with the dog.
Yeah,
Oh,
of course.
come
Yeah,
on.
of course.
And
Yeah.
you have a CGI baby running around a house acting like a dog, like it's the son of the mask.
So then now this dog with the soul of a human
Mhm.
could grow old.
Yeah,
and you
totally.
could finally have consensual.
Sorry, what?
Yes, he could.
What?
Yeah,
No,
I'm
you're
very
playing-
interested in this legal theory, Eric.
You're
I'm
playing,
just
you're
saying,
playing the
don't-
long game on a bestiality loophole. Is that what I'm trying to do?
I thought, hey, I'm pitching the sequel. Okay.
Okay, got it.
I see. I see.
There will be no sequel.
John Waters is a Family Switch 2.
Sorry, my
I
head
mean-
is in the gutter right now. I'm on Mick G's IMDb page.
course.
Prior to this, he directed one of the episodes of Turner and Hooch, the TV show.
Ooh.
And then the last big
Oh,
movie he
sure.
did, big movie, Rim of the World. Rim of the World. Is
Pardon
that
me?
the title we're
Yeah.
going with? Rim.
What's that about?
I think it's about when you put the tongue in and you swirl it.
Flat Earth? Is it about the flat Earth? Actually, it
Four
sounds like it could be a flat Earth.
Campers must band together and conquer their fears in order to save the world during, you guessed it, an alien invasion.
No, thank you. That would be no, thank you for me. That would be
Brutal. So anyway, I just wanted to warn people against
Thank
both
you.
of those movies.
Of course.
You are better off on the goddamn Hallmark channel. Anyway, that's going to do it for On Screen Live this week, folks. We have a huge week because, of course, the biggest thing about it, this Thursday, we are at
Yes.
White Eagle Hall in Jersey City, New Jersey. We're talking about this movie, The Santa Claus. That's right.
Bow, 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 bow.
Oh, dude, I should have made that be the theme song we walk out to. Oh, what was I thinking? And also, folks, speaking of, we were talking about that the mailbag story there about Hunger Game. You can get the audio only edition of the November mailbag. It is out now wherever you get your pods, of course, or you can catch the visual replay here on the YouTube channel. And man, we are getting into it. The December offerings here. First up, released last Friday. If you missed that, We Love Movies, all about Lethal Weapon.
Oh yeah, that's a Christmas movie, folks. It is.
Absolutely. And episode dropping tomorrow on the Tuesday feed. Of course, we are back to We Hate Movies, going right into December with another Christmas action film, Die Hard 2. That's going to be pretty exciting stuff. And if you're a person who, you're going to listen to Die Hard 2 and you're like, boy, I'd like to listen to Die Hard 2 without commercials, we got you covered on the Patreon, ad free at the $8 level and up. You can listen to us riff on why maybe sticking John McClane in a boring airport wasn't the best idea.
Yeah, not great.
So we got that, the show Thursday, and then boom, Friday on Patreon, Melrose 210, the December edition. We're back. The Parisian vacation is behind us, Steve.
Yes, that's right. We're
Thank
building
God.
castles in the sand.
Yes.
And Andrew and Brandon is dating a racist, not a rapist, a racist.
A racist.
Sorry about that.
Very
Yeah.
important.
Yeah, quite an
yeah.
episode. A lot of fun to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, a certain character takes a buckshot in the chest and is no longer with us.
Oh, that is
True.
correct. All
It's
right.
very true.
So all that and more, folks, patreon.com/We Hate Movies. But that's going to do it for this edition of On Screen Live. Until next week, I've been Andrew Jupin.
Steven Sadak.
Eric Siska.
Chris Cabin.
Have a good week, folks. Bye-bye.